I'm Quentin Sizaire, I'm the co-founder of the platform ECCO NOVA. ECCO NOVA is a crowd-lending platform fully dedicated to the ecological transition. So on ECCO NOVA, citizens can lend money to corporates for the sustainable projects, so in order to finance and develop them. This project can be a renewable energy project like a wind farm, a solar installation, but also a high-efficiency real estate projects. So the idea on the investor side is to allow people to activate their savings and use their money to have an impact on the economy and on sustainability. And on the other side, for the corporates, we allow them to develop and finance their project while decreasing actually their own equity participation on these projects. So the idea is that we come with quasi-equity participation in order to leverage their equity and access to the bank financing. This is our first model. But recently we developed actually a second model in which we completely get rid of the banks. So we actually finance project up to 90%, so the project developer has to put only 10% of equity for the project, and we fully leverage only with ECCO NOVA, so we provide a full debt with guarantee, so we take a first-rank mortgage for real estate project, and that allows us up to 5 million to fully finance the project of the developers. We actually help people to finance their project, knowing that currently, especially, the project developer face difficulties and a true struggle to access to bank financing. This is due to the fact that banks have some limitation in their participation in real estate, and we are not stuck by these kind of constraints, so we are fully free to finance this kind of project. So we offer, as I said, the possibility to fully finance both in senior and junior debt. So we get rid of the bank and we provide a one-stop shop to finance real estate projects. Well, we actually have several big companies that trusted us. We had the possibility and the chance to work for brands like ECCO, like Volvo, like the Horizon Group in Liège. So actually one of the different points that we have at ECCO NOVA is that on top of bringing a financing solution, we actually emphasize very much on the citizen participation. So people are not just there to purely finance, but we really involve people that are touched by the project. So we like to involve employees of companies, we like to involve the customers, we like to involve the neighbors of our real estate projects. So that's how, as I said, we worked for Volvo in Ghent, for instance, where the employees really participated to the financing of a solar installation on the roof of the factory. That was a very nice experience back in 2018. And recently we worked with Horizon Group, where we actually allowed the citizen around the project, really in the municipality, in the village where the real estate project has been developed and built. We allowed these people to invest first, so we really gave them an access, a priority access to the campaign, in order really to create a link between the project and these people that are somehow touched by the project. And then if this is not enough to raise the fund, then we can open to the rest of the community of ECCO NOVA in order to raise the target amount. The typical client that we target with our service is actually the middle-sized player. We believe that the big player might have enough money, so maybe we have less impact for them from a financial point of view, but more for middle-sized project developer, we believe that we can really help them, to empower them to basically improve their equity in order to ease the access to the bank financing. But just to come back also on the big companies, we believe that we can also help them in a way that if the financial side of crowdfunding is not really what they look for, we believe that from a pure communication and marketing point of view, we can help them to better communicate on the positive impact of their project, especially to connect them to the neighbors. Well, COVID-19 had two impacts, one positive, one negative. The negative impact is that we saw that most of the project development have been slowed down. So project developer faced difficulties to get permit and stuff like that because the whole world was stuck due to lockdown. So that means that we didn't really lose project or leads, but more it took more time to convert. That's one point. So everything is slowed down. So that has a negative impact on our figures and on the amount we raised in 2020. But on the other hand, we are recovering a bit the delay here at the end of 2020 because, as I said, we have now a new service where we can completely replace the bank, and we really see a true traction on that specific service. And we had the chance 2 days ago to raise a full new campaign for 2.5 million. That was the target amount. And after 2 days only, we managed to raise 2 million already. So we see that there is a true demand and true appetite of our community to invest. And on the project size, that was a project where we fully replaced the bank. So that was also a very specific demand of the market, because we see that, as I said, banks are getting a bit reluctant and are a bit stuck with their possibility, their envelope, I would say, available for real estate. And there, with that new service where we can really replace the bank in a way that we can take guarantee, mortgage and so on, we can really have a true impact for the real estate developers. So that first project was a very successful trial, I would say, and we will be happy to launch other campaign like that. So as I said, we saw the market slowing down a bit at the beginning of the year, and now we can really answer a need with that new service we provide with ECCO NOVA Finance. This is a vehicle that allows us to actually take some guarantees on the asset, what was not possible when we were connecting hundreds of investors to a project developer. Now we have this intermediary vehicle in between called ECCO NOVA Finance that allows us to take guarantees and, as I said, replace the bank for project up to 5 million euro. And that really, I think, answers a demand that is partially due to COVID, actually. I think that COVID accelerated that reluctance from the bank to finance, or to finance enough, because they sometimes finance, but not up to 80% as they used to do in the past, but more up to 70 or 60%, which can be a problem for some project developers that have to bring quite a lot of cash, quite a lot of equity for their project, and we actually ease that financing for them. Well, there is a first trend we already see today. This is a trend to sustainability. So we see that not only due to the legal restriction, but also due to the market demand, we see that the buildings are more and more sustainable from an energy point of view. We see that the insulation is much better, that the technology for the heating system and so on are improving. So we see that there is a true trend in that, and real estate developers do not only stick to the rules and to the regulation, but they do even better because they see that this is a market demand. So that's the very first trend that we see and that we're happy to see, because, as I said, we want to participate to the ecological transition at ECCO NOVA, so that's important for us. And this is one of the key elements to select project, is to see the sustainability of the project. So this is a trend that we already see and that will certainly keep going and increase in the future. This is point one. And point two, I believe that this sustainability sometimes costs a lot of money. If you want to have a good heating system, for instance, that can be an extra capex for your project. So I believe that the trend will be more and more for a kind of real estate as a service. I think that some options on the building will not be owned by the people, but more rented or leased, like the energy system, maybe tomorrow the charging station for electric car and stuff like that. All these things contribute to increase the budget of a project, to increase the cost for the buyer, for the future owner. And I think that it is getting a true struggle from some people to acquire this kind of level of sustainability building. And I think that the trend will be more and more for indeed a kind of leasing for this kind of options. This is a trend that we see in mobility, in many other sectors, and I think that real estate will follow that trend.